fellow Toastmasters, we've all been there, that time when we are asked to speak at a Toastmasters meeting. Now, I don't know about you, but the first time I was asked to speak and deliver my speech, I was petrified. I thought to myself, what am I going to be speaking about? And what am I going to say? How am I going to structure my speech? I did have that information ready and I did read through it. However, it was mulling over in my mind constantly. What is the topic going to be? Now, what I have learned through a lot of trial and error is that there are certain cheats that you can implement to make sure that you can put together a speech in a very, very short period of time. Most of my speeches that I put together, I outline what I am going to be speaking about in my mind. So it's a mind map per se. Let me share with you some tips that you can take away in order to always be ready to deliver a speech. Now I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, point number one. Can you guys see that? Anyway, let's get going. Point number one, and that is to select the topic. I look for inspiration from many different areas. First of all, I've got many things that I have encountered through my life. So could it be a funny story that I've encountered? Could it be a story that I experienced at work? Could it be something related to my job? Could it be some other source of inspiration, such as some sports stars that I may idolize, or someone who has done something significant, like Nelson Mandela, for instance. There are many topics to choose from. You just got to force your mind to try to simplify it, something funny, because when you are in front of your friends, you always seem to have something to say and you speak freely. Just take a topic and think about, okay, I could talk about this for 5 to 7 minutes, not a problem. Next is to think about an opening. When I'm thinking about my opening, I want a strong opening. I think of, can I ask a question? Can I make a statement? Can I just quote somebody such as JFK, a rising tide lifts all boats? That's just an example, but it's an effective way to engage your audience right away. The next step is to make sure that you have got the rest of your opening. So you've got to explain to your audience what you are going to say and then run through that. The next step is the points. So what you want is to have at least 3 points and to be in a position to expand on those points. So introduce what you're going to be speaking about and then use an example or an anecdote. So make your point, example, or anecdote. Let's work through this. Let's say we're talking about effective ways to beat the COVID blues at home. I would be saying, okay, maybe exercise is an effective way. So what I've started to do is implement an exercise routine in my daily life. And I've gotten the tips from the internet. So I've worked out ways to exercise at home and exercise in a safe manner. One of the exercises I'm doing, and this is transitioning into the example, is squats. And I can then go through and explain how I complete this exercise, how many repetitions I might do, so on and so forth. An example of an anecdote, for instance, is to think about, let's say, if we were in a situation at work and say, oh, there was this funny situation at work that arose, and then to go on and to tell the story. So when I was at the printer, someone thought that it would be a great idea to sit on the, to pull down their trousers and sit on the printer and copy their buttocks. Now, as inappropriate as it was extremely funny. So that is, again, an example of an anecdote maybe that someone could use, or that you'd be using in a humorous speech. So the idea is to have at least 3 points and to have, let's say, 2 examples or 1 anecdote for each of those points. Now, once you come to the conclusion, which would be the next step, what do? You basically retell what you've already told. So you have to sum it up. Think about, okay, what was the point of the speech? So that was from the opening. Then summarize your 3 points once again, and then you can make a closing statement, such as, and we'll use that COVID blues example. During my time hiding from the coronavirus, I actually, implemented a exercise routine, and now that I could continue with my life. I do my squats every morning, my push-ups and my sit-ups, and I'm a lot better for it. And I hope you can take away something and maybe implement in your life. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So there's some quick cheats that you can implement in your preparation when you have a speech, when you are rostered to speak next. And don't hesitate. There's so much inspiration that we can all draw on, so many stories that we've encountered, so many things that we have seen that we could easily write a speech about and deliver it in a very, very short period of time. Thank you.